No one is prepared for the significance of the major announcement that Shiba Inu developers recently made. However, the figures are mounting. Big news from tech, BlackRock, and Saudi Arabia. And at the center of it all is Shiba Inu. The development team is criticizing us, an audacious price forecast, and a price goal that has the potential to completely upend the market. Have we been waiting for this moment? Let me clarify. Welcome to Dr. Crypto, your daily serving of Shiba. This is the spot for you if you're curious about anything related to Shiba. If you want to keep informed about all the latest news forecasts and stay ahead of the crypto industry, subscribe. To get more SHIB news, be sure to click the like button. The cryptocurrency industry is still exploding. Prices are rising, the charts are flashing green, and nobody seems to be applying the brakes. Many others are now waiting for a correction while standing on the sidelines. A retreat of some kind, due to the rate at which everything has been rising. Get this too. Bitcoin just surpassed $100,000 once again. However, the marketplace isn't slowing down despite that. It's getting faster, if anything. And in the midst of all of this chaos, a significant event involving Shiba Inu occurred. Shiba Inu has been quietly defending its position as the cryptocurrency market is booming. As a significant reset appears to be taking place everywhere, it is really displaying significant strength. Shiba Inu observed a significant increase in trade activity during the last day. Not just any place, however. We are discussing Binance, the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange. Although Shiba Inu's total trading volume decreased by 4%, the situation on Binance is very different. Trading is rapidly heating up on Binance. We can see that over $97 million has been traded in the two most common Shiba Inu trading pairs on the site. In other words, more than 6.2 billion Shiba Inu will be traded. It's crazy how loud it is. It's an obvious indication that the token is in high demand. People aren't only holding either, they're trading right now. In fact, this is a huge problem. Right now, Shiba Inu is outperforming its competitors and making a name for itself in a market overrun by hype tokens and meme currencies. It's even more amazing that it's performing this on a platform as big as Binance. This kind of care and engagement is crucial for Shiba Inu. At this point, community and memes are no longer the only factors. The goal is to demonstrate Shiba Inu's place in the major leagues. A high trading volume increases the token's visibility, liquidity, and growth potential. It's a clear indication that Shiba Inu are here to stay. It may be just beginning, in fact. However, why the hype? What's happening? Well, price charts and trade volumes aren't the only things that go on behind the scenes. Trump's recent trip to Saudi Arabia is now one of the most prominent stories. Unexpectedly, the Shiba Inu development team is also taking notice. One of the Shiba Inu team's primary voices, Lucy, revealed some ideas that are really getting people to think. She essentially said that the current state of affairs between the United States and Saudi Arabia is historic rather than just political. We're watching massive capital, she said. Consider how major firms like BlackRock begin to embrace AI, cutting-edge innovation, and future technology. These are not little maneuvers. Things like these will influence the next 10 years. She was clear. The majority of people won't realize how significant this is until it has already occurred. It all becomes clear when you see how rapidly nations like Saudi Arabia and the UAE are developing and implementing new technologies. She criticized Europe in the meantime, claiming that they are lagging behind and should concentrate more on economic development. Let's make the connection now. Why is any of this relevant to cryptocurrency? Why is it important to Shiba Inu? Here's the problem, however. These days, cryptocurrency is more than simply coins. It is now included into international strategy. Blockchain will inevitably be a part of the tech, innovation, and online infrastructure that nations and large enterprises begin investing in. Crypto is part of it, and this is significant for an initiative like Shiba Inu, which is always changing and has its own blockchain ecology and practical applications. Crypto ventures associated with this idea may prosper if wealthy and innovative areas like Saudi Arabia embrace this trend. Perhaps that is the reason the Shiba Inu squad is listening. They're not only keeping an eye on the markets, they are seeing the areas where the next phase is being constructed. Not to be overlooked is the UAE's recent cooperation with Shiba Inu. Thus, it seems to be strategy now, rather than simply hype. However, as Lucy pointed out, most people won't really understand the scope of this until it has already occurred. The remainder of the world is now in a frenzy as a result. Individuals are experiencing that traditional crypto FOMO. Before it's too late, everyone is attempting to interpret the signals, forecast the future, and determine the direction of this situation. Naturally, the crazy price forecasts begin to fly once again when that type of energy enters the atmosphere. There is now a lot of talk about Shiba Inu reaching $1, 1 cent, or 10 cents. However, one number appears more often than the others this time. 1/10 of 1 penny. Everyone is instantly talking about that forecast. Of course, many skeptics are still rolling their eyes. Such forecasts are not new to us. Here's the difference now, however. Given the recent events in Saudi Arabia and the fact that Bitcoin has above 100,000, this prognosis suddenly makes sense. It's no longer simply wishful thinking. A genuine dialogue is beginning to emerge. What precisely is that reasoning then? Why are many suddenly beginning to think that this pricing could be achievable? Now that Bitcoin has surpassed $100,000, once again, a significant event has occurred. It increased its market worth to an astounding $2 trillion. And it makes all the difference. You see, this is one of the main arguments made by skeptics against Shiba Inu's 10th of a cent dream. Shiba Inu's market capitalization would surpass that of Bitcoin if it ever reached that level. And it's just not feasible. In the past, when Bitcoin's market capitalization was less, it would have seemed plausible. Now, though, not so quick. Let's dissect it. The market value of Shiba Inu is at slightly about $10 billion. However, Bitcoin is doing well, valued at $2 trillion, and is still growing. What would happen then if Shiba Inu did in fact reach that magical number, tenths of a penny? With its present supply, Shiba Inu would be valued at over $589 billion to reach that level. That's a huge leap, almost 70 times greater than it is at the moment. Here's the secret, however. Shiba Inu would still fall well short of Bitcoin's market capitalization despite that enormous jump. Not even half. Bitcoin would really still be more than 3 times as big. What does this indicate then? The price of a tenth of a penny is not as outrageous as it formerly seemed. It's not financial advice, but Shiba Inu might reach that price and still be far behind Bitcoin in terms of market share. It might do this without being the most popular cryptocurrency. There is, of course, a catch. The cryptocurrency market is not a vacuum. Bitcoin is unlikely to remain still if Shiba Inu does so. Even if it does so more slowly, it will probably rise as well. And it can imply that the distance between the two genuinely remains or even widens. However, things get complex when individuals begin mentioning even more ambitious goals, such as half a cent or a whole cent. Shiba Inu would be valued almost $3 trillion at half a penny. We're talking about more than $6 trillion at 1 penny. Shiba Inu would be more popular at such levels than Bitcoin is at the moment. At that point, everything begins to seem surreal, at least given the state of the market and supply. Those very high Shiba Inu cost projections begin to push the boundaries of what is likely until Bitcoin has another significant upswing, such as a 3-fold or more increase in value. Here's the bottom line, however. Do you have a tenth of a cent? That isn't just a crazy dream anymore. The maths is accurate, and that little figure suddenly does not appear so far away in a marketplace that is always changing, with significant changes occurring all around the globe. The problem is that reaching that tenth of a cent target involves more than simply market capitalization and figures. It's also about the individuals that are working on the project. And Lucy sent a powerful message to the community that made it very evident. "We need real Shiba Inu owners to be louder," she said, addressing Shiba Inu owners directly. "I wish they would post more often. In addition to all the exchanges, there are 1.5 million holders. Speak up, please." To be honest, she's correct. Many members of the Shiba Inu army lost that fire somewhere along the queue when the market became calm and the excitement subsided. The same group that popularized Shiba Inus and helped them go viral has now been silent. However, this movement was first fueled by the enthusiasm, memes, tweets, and grassroots support. And the moment to revive it is now more important than ever. Lucy continued after that. She also made another statement that really connects all of our previous discussions. We'll see fewer coins and more genuine dApps and possibilities for holders when good, genuine builders unite, she said. And that's strong. It indicates that Shiba Inu is not only attempting to become another token on a lengthy list of memes. Genuine development, genuine usefulness, and real worth for those who believe in it are its goals. And it begins to make sense when you relate it to current events throughout the world, such as the explosion of innovation in Saudi Arabia and the large investment in tech and cryptocurrency. Screaming louder on social media isn't enough. It's about supporting an endeavor that is really creating something, less tokens that aren't useful. Actual tools, applications, and systems that have the potential to transform the way people utilize cryptocurrency. Shiba Inu advanced to the next level in this way, not only with rhetoric, but with action, solidarity, and tangible advancement. However, what do you think of this? Leave a comment below. The day is over now. Remember to give it a big thumbs up. To see our most recent material, share it and subscribe to the channel.